Yeah. All right. Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to today's meeting. Yeah, we're ready to get started. I just have to go set up the projector, so Ashley will read off the first thing on today's agenda. And yeah, we can get started.
Okay. So our agenda for today, which is Saturday, November 18th. The first item on the agenda are our upcoming events. First of all, an event in collaboration with Duke Recreation, which would be the adapted accessible yoga class, looking for mid-January. And a second event, prospective meeting with the mayor-elect, Steve Schul. I'm going to shut the door because it's a bit noisy out there.
Sorry about that. I wanted to keep it open in case Gio shows up, but I'll probably have to.
Bear with it for now.
Yeah. So right. So for the it looks like it's working. Okay. For the event with Duke Rec, just want to let everybody know that we are hopefully going to have someone from Duke Rec, Lee Garstecki, come to our next meeting, which will be on December 2nd, 3 to 4 p.m. in West Union 241. Lee Garstecki, I believe her name is. And yeah, she's from Duke Rec, so hopefully she'll be able to come to the next meeting and we can discuss with her what she's thinking of for the event and what we think could be incorporated. So if anyone has any comment on that, please let us know, because we'd love to hear from you and we can communicate your thoughts to her. So yeah, so the other thing is for the meeting with Steve Schul, that's again going to be mid-January. So we're going to generally discuss with him I guess the state of accessibility in Durham and how to improve it. So again, we'd love to hear from anyone who has any thoughts for him. And so yes, please let us know about those. But again, that meeting will not be for a while. So
I thought on that, and I think more comments should come later. But when it comes to sitting down for that meeting and being able to have it be the most productive conversation, would it be good to have a representative of the Durham-based advocacy organization? It would be great if the one Mary and I volunteer with to be that, because they try to be the center for living for the tribal area, for Durham, Raleigh, and the surrounding area. But the realistic thing is that they don't have an established infrastructure and advanced presence in Durham. So I just wonder, we have experience on campus. We have some experience in different parts of Durham, but we don't necessarily know what it's like to put public funds, or to lobby, or to have policy done for the county or the city level. And I would know the first thing about a pragmatic conversation with Steve Schul about that. I know things on a historical level and on a federal level, in maybe Raleigh, but and so, and I don't want it to get too complicated or out of hand either. So it'd be good to look into whether there's a person that we'd be comfortable with having there, who could just help us, when we get, if we want to be able to talk more concretely about what is feasible.
Yeah. There's the Mayor's Council for People with Disabilities. Maybe it's called Persons with Disabilities or Individuals. But there is, and we met someone who serves on that council.
Do you remember the name of that man?
I know that he was, he just went by, was it something like Papa, right? Do you remember Big Papa or something like that?
But Pops? I don't know.
Pops, maybe.
Yeah. Can you mention he's from NCSU?
Yeah, the guy from Central.
NC Central,
Yeah. And just lose my
So I think
right. And I don't know his real name, but
I will search.
when I looked up the mayor's council, there's a couple of people on it. He's probably, we'll probably by process of elimination figure out who it was that we already spoke to.
right. So the thing is, I did tell Steve Schul we'd get back to him by this afternoon with some dates, but I can probably postpone that.
No, I would postpone that.
Or are you saying just give him a bunch of dates and then hopefully we can work?
Right, give him a selection of dates that work for us, and we can work toward being ready for that meeting over the next 2 months, or month and a half. That should be enough time to like come up with a couple of things that we want to get out of the meeting, right? And we can start small. I think that what we're doing is building a relationship, right? And so we want it's a learning experience for us too.
Yes, certainly.
So, if we could have one goal at a time, achievable goals, I think that that's the best way to move forward.
Okay.
Building a better relationship.
Right. So
it's just, for me, it's important that we get it onto his agenda, and get it into his head that citizens and students care, and that this is an opportunity to work with the community from Duke.
And
that's the kind of attitude we want.
And the tone and substance of the meeting can be variable, we can set that tone. So even if we were not able to identify a person who could fit the meeting the date that we chose, it would still give us, we would know in advance, like, okay, we may not be able to get into the technical details, but maybe this could be a meeting about informing Steve Schul, if he doesn't already have this information, or giving him firsthand experience, establishing a relationship, and then telling him, we will tell you of people we know of who you may want to consult, or, so that.
I'm sure he will know about the mayor's council. I mean, it's called the mayor's.
And it may not even hurt to maybe have a meeting with the council.
Yeah.
Then get up to speed on accessibility issues in Durham specifically.
Yeah.
Then go into the meeting with Steve Schul with that information, even if we don't talk about it a whole lot, because we obviously still won't be experts on it. But even going into the meeting with that extra information, I think might be helpful.
Yeah. Right, and we're not gonna be, I don't think anyone's expecting Duke students to be experts on policy or funding. We're kind of coming in with what we are expert on, which is how to see this as a human rights issue, how to see this as a social justice issue, how to see this as connecting with all of the issues of equitability and inclusion that we strive for in this city, right? That it's part of progressive politics, and we can show how it connects to other issues that he does care about, but he doesn't always see in relationship to disability. So does that make sense?
Yeah,
like, we don't have to go in there being like, okay, Steve, you're going to get the money from these people and this is what you're going to do with it. Because that's not what any of us do.
But knowing, I think, absolutely, and yes, and I think it makes sense to me now how we could have a meeting, especially when it comes to networking. You don't actually achieve much out of a first meeting at all.
Yeah.
All you do is you establish a relationship that you build on.
Yeah.
But it just makes me more curious about, as you and I have gotten more involved in Raleigh-based advocacy, it's making me more and more curious why I don't know a go-to central organization for Durham, why that's, I don't know. I just want to educate myself further and have firmer connections, because I'm starting to realize that the downside of all of our connections in Raleigh is that they're Raleigh, right? And so there's more room to reach out. And also when we do have, eventually when we can learn more about what is pragmatically possible with funding and lobbying, it might be easier to pinpoint, a platform per se. Like when we do say, what do we care about most for this community, you have to do it strategically.
Right.
You might have your mission, your vision statement is the ideal, but your priorities hopefully align with what is available.
Right.
So
we want to get as much background as possible, I think. So I'll be emailing him later today, I guess. I still haven't heard back from Kevin.
It might be equally important to learn what we can about Durham politics, or not even politics, but government, to learn what we can about just, I don't know, all the stuff. I mean, I know that the big discussion areas seem to be around housing, gentrification, transportation. These are like the local issues. So it's just how do we make disability a part of that conversation when it comes to housing?
And I think meeting with the council would certainly help.
Yeah.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah, and the new council is great. So I really look forward to that.
So
I'll let you know where we are in the conversation.
So what's the
If
next?
you want to follow along, there's an agenda. And right now we're just finishing up talking about our upcoming events.
Oh, that's
So is that good?
Yeah.
So we were just talking about a meeting that was scheduled
Okay.
yeah, to initial, like an initial networking meeting.
Oh, cool. All right.
And then we didn't really cover the Duke recreational event. We're gonna talk about that more next week.
Oh, there for next year?
For January.
Oh, they do one every semester.
No.
What is that?
This
Is that like the Wet Fest that happened at the beginning of the year?
No.
No,
this
it's-
is the-
It's gonna be hopefully specifically geared towards people with disabilities
Okay.
and like kind of exploring like how Duke Rec is accessible and also trying to figure out how they can improve.
Okay.
And also kind of showcasing
Isn't
like
it a yoga event with a dinner or something?
yeah, it's yoga and dinner and like basically an info session. It's like a lot of stuff all wrapped
We're
in.
just throwing a lot of
together.
money into
Yeah.
what this is.
Are you guys all cool with being?
We'll take it.
Are you guys all cool with being filmed or? Because I have the camera.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind.
Cool. I'll just.
But it would be
Clue.
embarrassing because I edited it out.
The other thing is that, like, they came to, I still love this, they came to us, they came to our meeting.
Yeah.
They
Right.
asked, a representative from REC asked to come to one of our meetings. Or no, did they just show up and surprise us? I can't remember.
I think she has to come. Yeah.
Okay, she asked to come, she showed up, she wanted to just speak, and mostly she just wanted to ask questions.
Okay.
And it was funny, she said, how can we, make sure that our facilities are accessible? What are your thoughts?
Well, here are they, like okay, I'm faculty, so
Yeah.
I don't like have as intimate and knowledge of all the things.
One is right by your building.
We did one.
But yeah, I know that gym. I know the gym is next to Bell Tower.
Yeah, Brody.
That's east.
Brody.
Oh,
Yeah, and then where's the West Campus gym?
right over.
It's near Cameron, like Cameron.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So you know what law school is?
Vaguely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if you walk
That
towards
there.
that, so which, I can never remember which one's, okay, wait, Science Drive is home of the parking garage.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you walk towards the law school, and from this direction, you turn left off, no.
Is that near the Wellness Center?
Yeah, you walk past the wellness center, you take a left,
Okay.
and then you know where there's this parking, that gated parking
Yeah.
area? There's apparently two gyms there that are basically the same building, but somehow they're separate.
Oh.
So there's a Card and then Wilson, yeah.
Is one of them a athletics gym?
Maybe? I
I
kind of
just
think
feel
about
like,
it.
yeah, I just
I
feel
don't even know
like
which one it is that I've been in.
they're kind of off the beaten, off of the paths that I know.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, like if you've ever been driving through there or walking through there and there's like a cluster with all the people like trying to
So,
turn by the.
Yeah, maybe part of it is like just a lack of signage around campus. I think that's part of
Yeah.
why I'm so unaware of things.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no like.
Yeah, you totally can walk or drive past it, you would never know there's a gym.
Oh,
But it's really nice inside.
okay.
The next item on our agenda is.
So let's go ahead and skip that because
Okay.
she's not here yet.
So skipping the conversation with the DSG rep.
Yes.
Okay. The third
What's
item.
DSG? You do student government?
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, it's someone else on Ivan's same group. They're like also a senator. And they were gonna come today and talk about automatic door openers in bathrooms and like how can we get more of those. But I don't know where they are, so I am listening.
Okay, so the next item is plans for a performance event. And this is what we want to tell Kathy to watch this part. So we're doing this at 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Or no, sorry, at 3:22
p.m.
Yeah, 3:22 p.m. So I actually don't know where
that is in the video.
Yeah,
There's no time.
Well, there is a time if you look at the YouTube video, because we also have like this, and I guess there is no time on this one.
Okay, well, they have it's at 3:22 p.m.
Yep.
There's any way to check that. Okay,
So
3 items listed there: the artist list, the funding source list, and coordinating those with Nasher.
So I think the biggest thing now is because it's been so long since we worked on this, I think we ought to basically contact everybody. Because I think what we don't really have an idea of is the cost for each of these artists.
Yeah.
And I can pull up the list and share that real quick so everybody can see.
It's not on the agenda.
It's linked to the agenda.
Oh, got it. Okay.
But I have the projector, so I pull up this stuff. And also a screen sharing capability as well.
We can have a draft email that goes out to each of them.
Yeah, basically. Because I think basically at this point we're kind of starting to run out of time.
Right, and some of these are more feasible than others.
Yeah.
Like Carrie Sandal isn't really a performance artist. That would be like a lecturer.
Yeah.
She's a scholar. I mean, maybe she does do performances, but some of these are really far away. So I think we start with the local one that Maddie knows.
And so just contact
we should
her.
rank this differently if I move that to the top and maybe.
Yeah, we can reorganize this. Yeah.
Just like the ones that are more likely. Joseph Strauss would be cool. I think that might. I don't remember where he lives, but I think that I know someone whose husband knows him, so that might be another. Even I just feel like in general, are we? I mean, we're giving a decent amount of notice, but I wish that we were reaching out with knowing that we could get money, I guess it makes sense to find out how much we're gonna need.
Yeah.
But I wish that we knew that we'd have some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we don't even know that we'll have any.
So do I.
So that's kind of scary right now, but like it's gonna have to be a tentative reach out initially, so we'll have to craft the email.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is either we try this and at least get a sense of how much money we need and how much time we need to devote to the fundraising, or
I think that we should do both at the same time. If this makes sense, I think we should have it be someone's job to write emails to 3 artists and someone's job to contact like one potential co-sponsor on the event and ask if this is possible to tell them the idea. Just for future, I got the name of somebody who's actively looking for events like this. I feel like the person suggested it would be too late to do this for this year. But I did get a name of someone. He's the vice provost for the arts, Scott Lindroth, and they just built that new art center, and they're like really eager to get, and this would mean a different event for the future, right? Because we're already partnering with the Nasher on this, but they want to do events just like this at the Rubenstein Art Center, which is that new building by the Duke Gardens. It's like right across the street from the Nasher. You guys know the one?
I've heard of it.
They've been building the Rubenstein Art Center. The Ruby, apparently, is what they're going to fondly refer to it as. But they really want to do events that'll get students into that space. And they're interested in like artistic things, obviously, because it's the art center.
Proactively gave it a kitchen name. Proactively gave it a nickname.
Yeah, because they didn't like.
Yeah, I mean the Ruby is kind of nice, but it's kind of one of those. I think that's the kind of thing that's supposed to develop organically out of like actual use. But,
I know, but because there's already the Rubenstein Library. And also the people that are going to be like teaching classes in there. I'm talking about like the adjuncts in like the arts moving image and like departments like that. They're kind of like, Rubenstein, you know, but anyway, that is an example of the kind of like place we could be looking for funding. It's like, okay, here's a big, powerful person connected with the university who's in command of lots of funding, and we have a great idea. So we really have to go in. We can't go in with our tail between our legs, being like, we don't have any money because we messed up. We have to go in and be like, we have this idea for a fantastic event. It's going to be integrative arts experience. It's going to be multi-platform, different genres of art, and we're going to have, it's going to be interactive, and it's going to be about disability and ability, blah, blah, blah. And like get them excited about it, and then be like, we need partners on this. And that has to be the attitude I think that we go with.
Right.
But there are, hopefully we'll find pockets of money that we can tap into. But I feel like we have to be doing that. Like we can't like put that off until after break.
Right.
You know, I feel like we need to be reaching out soon.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we could divvy up these tasks among the exec, somebody can email the artists and somebody can start choosing sources of funding.
Yeah. So yeah. Right. So I think real quick.
Just remember other things for funding sources.
Yeah.
So specifically for this performance.
Yeah. Let's just move over to that document.
Okay. Because if it's specifically at Duke, then we would email each of the music and dance or performance departments, asking them to be co-sponsors and asking them to contribute, you know, a couple hundred.
Do you think we can do that at this point, or do you think it's again?
Music is considered work, but yeah, we can ask anyway.
So
see what we get.
So usually if you were inviting a speaker or putting on an event or a small conference, and say I was doing it in history, but I was inviting a keynote that I knew that women's history, women's studies and lit would also be interested in. If I were planning the event, I would email their department heads and say, if you want to be our co-sponsor, this would involve you disseminating the information in your networks, like sending out our flyer, and contributing to our, you know, our budget if you can. And they'll indicate, as long as they know what it means to be co-sponsored, and you can inform them of that, and then they'll tell you whether they want to be a co-sponsor.
Yeah.
And they'll give you money. So like it's pretty standard for events around campus.
Yeah.
So like not even if they can actually help us like with money, but like even for publicity and just like having their name,
networks, and you know they're going to do that work of sending things out on their listservs. If they have staff to put up flyers, they could do that.
Should we strategically kind of layer our approach so that first we ask for contributions, and then if they say they don't have the funds, then ask for help with publicity?
No, I can get a template email that I use.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because I'm worried if we say money or help with publicity, everyone's gonna go, okay, we'll just do help with publicity. You know, gives them an out. It builds in and out, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, not that I've ever had any success with this. I've had lots of failures, and that's kind of what I'm working from here. It's like whenever I give people a plan B that's easier, they always go for that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of basis for that in human behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is an option also on our funding sources list.
Yeah, I think what we need is if we can get like a website or contact information. But we can pretty easily look that up later. I think the problem from a logistical standpoint is that most people are either out or sick at this point in time, like from exec who can actually email people. So that we may not be able to get things done like in the next few days, but I think.
Well, it's Thanksgiving. I was kind of thinking the week people are back. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't want this to wait till after.
Yeah, not after. Not after
like,
winter break. I think we'll definitely have some
this semester because then it's finals and you know. We can capitalize on that. Space in between Thanksgiving and exams.
So, but you think it would be fine to just table contacting people until after Thanksgiving.
I think we should tell people that it's coming up so that it's at least percolating, but we can give a later deadline.
What's the date that we're gonna do that?
Let me get a calendar up because so we could do it by December 1st. That's a week after Black Friday.
Wait, when is this event gonna occur?
Oh, the event, it's on March 30th, March 29th.
March 29th, they told us the time, but
Reserved the Nasher for the Thursday night of Disability Pride Week.
do you remember the time for that?
I don't know if we.
I'm pretty sure we did decide a time because we met with them in July, but I can't find the notes to that meeting, which is problematic.
It's weird. We can just ask them what we decided. I see our notes from May 26th.
No, we definitely met with them again,
Yeah.
but I can't. Yeah, I can.
Okay, well, we can ask. It's probably 6:30 or 7 p.m., something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because the thing is, they actually sent us an email like when we canceled for the 14th of October. They were like, "Hey, have you guys thought about Disability Pride Week anymore?" And then we never responded to them.
You didn't?
So yeah.
No,
So
I feel like I remember saying to them that we were. I remember telling
Maybe
Kathy
did you?
to say that we were excited, and I feel like I remember seeing that email. Remember? Because at first I remember Kathy drafted the email, and it was just kind of.
Yeah, I think
I told her to.
I think she said, yeah, we're looking forward to Disability Pride Week, but then they responded to that and they were like, have you guys thought about it? We should meet again, and then we never.
Okay.
So
I get you. We should meet with them soon.
Yeah.
Because
they could probably help us out with
us. Like they can.
Yeah.
If they like at the bare minimum, they can tell us who to ask. People they've partnered with on previous events that have helped with funding. So we should talk about maybe meeting with them, and it can be a small meeting, like if exec is busy.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just out right now, so although I do want to get stuff done, I think I don't want to end up doing it by myself.
Right.
So I think we'll probably just have to table that till.
Well, just if we don't schedule a meeting with them, we can still email, like include them as one of the people we contact to ask about funding. You know?
Yeah, I think we should just.
Oh, I didn't realize that's up on the screen. Sorry. Probably distracting.
Oh, no problem.
That's fine.
Okay.
So natural news, but also just.
Do you want me to just take?
It's the fact that Jay has the same.
Oh,
shared
got
notes
okay.
on,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Because I have the list of organizations up here for anyone that's watching that wants to see who we're thinking of contacting.
I see. Well, I can do this request.
Yeah, because we have a email draft document. You could probably put it in there, and then yeah, it doesn't really matter to me, but however you.
Okay, somebody just messaged our Facebook page.
Oh yeah, and I was I'm communicating with her.
Oh, is this the person from DSG?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. So, because the thing is, I think Kevin, as the vice president, could really help out a lot with this. He's not coming back too. So yeah, basically, I think after like Wednesday the 29th.
Wednesday
the wait.
In March?
No,
Oh.
So Wednesday the 29th of November.
Sorry.
I think that is when we can start kind of coming back together because everyone will be back and we can start pushing stuff out then. Yeah, so because I mean, we could even just create a separate document and then like separate document for emails for this, and then just basically until Wednesday the 29th, as we have time, we can anyone that has time can draft a separate email, and then we have them all of these specific emails for each organization we're thinking of contacting, have that all there. And then Wednesday, once everyone gets back, we can regroup and send those out, finish those and send those out.
Okay, so Wednesday after.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when everyone in exec will be back to the best of my knowledge.
Resume.
So let's see here.
And so the funding is to what, reserve the Ruby Center or?
So we're not gonna do it there because, like, we've already been talking about having it in Nashua.
Oh, okay.
And Nashua already expects us to do it there.
Oh, okay. And
I
they're
brought
kind of
up the other thing because I know that they're new and they're actively, like, they have money, right?
Okay, so like, yeah.
I don't know if the Nashua does.
Gotcha.
Like, that's never been.
Yeah, we're realizing that we need to plan even further ahead than we are now. Like we were thinking of using the cultural engagement fund, but those like you basically have to get on that radar like a semester before you want to have an event.
Okay.
There's one deadline for the whole year.
Yeah, so it's good to keep planning.
Yeah. Okay, so it's thinking now for next year. If you want
yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. But the yeah, so I brought it up for that reason. I was thinking, are we ready to move on to the next agenda item or?
So we talked about everything for the performance event. Yeah, let's do the accessibility survey updates real quick because she's still not here yet. So
okay. So I started a survey last week with Maddie and Mahima, and I'm trying to find it in my drive now.
And so, just to be clear, you haven't shared that with everyone in exec.
Everyone yet, but I can if you want me to.
Because yeah, I think
there's no reason why not to.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful because then.
Yeah, I haven't done anything on it since Saturday of last week, so I'll just share this with. Actually, what I can do is put it right into our shared folder.
Yeah.
And that will automatically share it with it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's done.
Okay.
And basically, I feel like it might be a bit too complex right now. So as we're revising it, we should maybe pare it down a little and talk about what our priorities are for this survey. I was thinking about it as a kind of an educational tool where in taking the survey, you're also learning about what accessibility is and how it applies to so many other things besides mobility impairments. Because a lot of times people think of just like ramps and doorways and elevators as being what accessibility is. So they think like most places are fine. But I wanted to like use this as like an educational tool, but also a way of thinking more broadly about disability issues and how they affect so many other people beyond the disability community. So as a result of my thinking of it that way, it's kind of huge. The survey is kind of huge. Like it starts with this question about like, please check all that apply to you. So it kind of starts with like identifications of the person's experiences, and it includes a lot of disabilities, but it also includes things like speaking English as a second language, being elderly, having an LGBTQ identity, having dietary restrictions, being of low income. So all of these things that have an effect on your relationship to your environment. And so like, just to kind of get a sense, and it's not really because we're collecting that data, but it's because like I want them to think about, oh, okay, this has an effect beyond just disability inclusion. And then we kind of broke into, I think, 7 sections. So there's these 7 questions where you just answer yes or no. And each one, depending on how you answer it, leads you to a section, which we haven't, right, see all of these? We haven't done any questions within the sections yet, but it's just a way to get people to share very specific kind of feedback about Duke.
Okay.
So I don't know how how to design these yet. I haven't really, to be honest, I haven't come back to the survey since our last meeting.
So you're working again with Maddie and Mahima on the advocacy team?
Yeah, I think Dee should be part of it too, because she's the accessibility chair. Right?
Yeah, I think she's doing some other stuff. Like I was thinking she would be able to work on this thing with DSG.
I'll take input from anyone. Though,
definitely.
And then I was thinking that, I don't know, I was thinking that we'd finish this by early December, start distributing it before the break, and then distribute it again after the break, and do something with our results by disability project.
So do you want to say like have a draft ready by like December 2nd or December 9th?
Look at my calendar.
Because one thing is the second meeting for the student group council is December 10th. So I was thinking of having that report on an event accessibility done by then. But also, if we could have the survey done by then, I can talk about the survey at the meeting.
Okay.
So I don't know if you think that's feasible or not to have it done by.
When is that meeting?
It's December 10th.
Oh, I can be sure to have it by then, I think.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put it into my calendar. Accessibility survey. I'm gonna put December 5th for now.
That sounds like a good idea.
It can probably be done before. It just kind of depends if I find a pocket of time. I've been bad about managing my own time lately, so.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah. I'm putting in December 5th for now because I have a couple other things to do that day, so I can kind of like think about it as like, yeah, trying to get it all done by that day. And that way, December 6th is my last day of teaching, and then I have a couple of days to just chill before their essays come in and I have to start grading them. Okay, so yeah, and does anyone have any feedback at this point about the survey? Like if you were taking this, would it feel kind of massive? Like, I mean, just having these 7 sections, is that too much?
Because I feel like because we don't really know like what exactly is going to be in each of the sections, we don't know how long they're going to be.
And it all depends on how you answer. So you could potentially only be filling in one of them.
Right.
You know, if that's all that applies to you.
Why don't we create a test pool?
Yeah.
And so if you have,
just exec can be the test.
Work backwards.
And
if you have it due, if you want it to be done by a certain date, like a week or a few days before that, have everyone take it, time how long it takes, take note of how it feels to have to do it.
Yeah.
Right. If it's taking more than 15 minutes, then it's definitely, or even more than 10 minutes, it's more than we want.
I think. So I think.
Should there be long answers in here?
So I think the idea was ask a yes or no question, then allow people to elaborate in a non-required.
So do you think each like section should be open-ended or directive?
So I think there's directive with the option of being more descriptive.
Okay.
I think that's what we got to talk about.
Yeah. You want usable data.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to have a yes or no and qualitative. So you have both quantitative and qualitative.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about like if we were to go to Kyle Kavanaugh and be like, hey, we need a student center for students with disabilities. Here's the survey data where people say like this amount of people would support this initiative. And then that's data that we can use to kind of convince him.
Yeah.
So.
And that question isn't in here yet, so I'm going to add that.
Yeah. So probably under section 9, social interaction. But
how many people are we thinking are going to fill it out?
As many people.
Circulated with everyone we know. So we'll ask you to share it with everyone on your law school thing, but also all the groups that we're affiliated with. I'll have the union do it. I'll have the Thompson Writing Program do it. Hopefully they'll have their students do it. My student, actually Denver students, and then like just every network that we can.
They will say, the bigger that it looks, for example, like a law student, if they were to open this up, so they come run exams, it will take 1 to 4 minutes if we need it.
Right, the timing is really important. We have to do it when people aren't like swamped with other stuff.
Yeah, and I think we can also,
because
the thing is, we can also send it out multiple times.
Yeah, that's
like send it out in December. If nobody gets it, then send it again in January, February.
Yeah.
Are we collaborating with anyone else planning to use the data?
No, not
I
at
was
this point.
wondering if it was a large organization, they might be willing to put up a prize or something that, like, you know, fill out the survey for a chance to win a $30 Amazon gift card. And that money is also not coming out of our budget because record, I guess maintenance or whatever really wants the information.
Right. Interesting. Can we approach SDAO?
Yeah, they may or may not be happy with
But I
this.
don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, they may or may
Because
not
the
be.
whole point of this survey is to show that they're kind of inadequate.
Well, not that they're
No,
inadequate,
they're
but
not. Well,
I mean
the
that would be kind of a
acceptability
byproduct of the
Yeah.
results of the survey.
Well,
Basically, it's like here are all the problems.
Yeah. But I feel like SDAO knows that they're under-resourced, so that would also, a study is showing that, like, you know, they can make, hey, what we're inadequately attempting to address all of these issues with an under-resourced, understaffed department, and here's hard data that we now, the SDAO, can bring to whoever first this person they talk to.
Mhm.
So they might even be in favor of something that is negative. I mean, depending on the perspective, it could also be
Depends
like, we
on-
don't want any bad press, but it could be like, hey, we can use this.
I did get very close to this subject with Lee Fickling as to whether, like I talked about like building community with her, and basically that's not in their mission. And I almost talked about like, why aren't you guys like pushing to expand your office? But I didn't actually talk about that with her. I guess I should have in retrospect. But yeah, it might be good for us to meet with her because even if they don't like it, we will be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So
And logically, I mean, it's always better to be involved in something that you don't like, so you can have input.
Yeah.
So even if they're negative.
That's it's
true.
true. When should we meet with her then? I mean,
That's a good question. Probably not before we send it. Well, we probably shouldn't wait to send this out until we meet with her. We can send this out and then meet with her later. But because we could also modify the survey halfway through and just get.
Well, you could, but then you'd have inconsistent data.
Yeah.
that's why.
I mean, if
Oh, that's what you meant halfway through, not like.
Well,
break, modify,
I mean,
and then send a different version.
not that we would revise any of the questions, but if we needed to add stuff,
Okay,
we could get like half data on some more stuff,
okay.
like less data on more questions, additional questions, if we really needed to do that. I mean,
Okay.
it's not ideal, of course.
Yeah,
But say if we were to meet with her and then realize there's some gaping hole in our survey, I
yeah,
think
okay,
we can make an addendum.
yeah, okay.
So the last question was when to schedule a meeting with that kind.
Right.
I would say what, early next semester?
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool if we could get it done before then, but I don't think I could do anything like that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, you're probably gonna be busy with finals and stuff, and we've got enough else on our plate for the last 2 weeks of this semester that I wouldn't
Yeah.
want, and I wouldn't wanna go into that meeting without you, or like without at least one student, so.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I think we'll just have to push it to next semester then.
Okay. The next item are emails that need responses.
So yeah, Lee Garstecki. Hold on, where is?
I think I wrote back to them.
No, because we need to send them the information on our meeting, which I just set up yesterday.
Okay. Oh, okay, which is December 2nd.
December 2nd, 3 to 4 p.m., 241, 2 rooms over.
Okay.
Hey, this
I'm
is
so
Duke
sorry to be
Disability
late.
Alliance. Hey. All right. So this is. So we're actually filming now. Are you okay with being filmed, or would you rather be off? Because that's fine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't think I forgot.
No. So we usually film our meetings.
Oh, I see. No, I'm
So
fine.
yeah, if you're fine being on camera, I can like try and get everybody in the shot. Or if you're not, then I can just keep it where it is right now.
So just finishing up on that last item, who should write the email back to Lee Garstecki?
So,
Maybe you could do it. We can talk about it after.
I guess
I
I just
think-
volunteered. All right,
Well, because I think you've been talking to her.
so just, all I have to do is send her the date.
Yeah, all you have to do is send her the date, time, and location.
Yep.
And she could even participate via the Hangout
Okay,
if she wanted to.
Giving us an introduction for our records.
Oh, okay, like about me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Jaja Chen. I'm a first year senator on Duke Student Government for Equity and Outreach. And so an issue came up in Fix My Campus a while ago about having handicap accessible buttons on those restrooms. And I emailed Fix My Campus a while ago about it, and they said they actually dropped the project. So yeah, so I'm here to get back on that, hopefully, make sure it happens.
Can you tell us about where's the funding come from for Fix My Campus? Like, what is that really? Like,
So Fix My Campus, I believe, is part of, it's a Duke Student Government affiliate, right? So
yeah.
they're, and honestly, like, I'm not expert on this, their funding comes as part of like DSG's funding.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, hopefully, like, in this project, we don't have to use like too much of that, because I know this is like a facilities issue, and so Duke should be able to cover that, but
Yeah.
it needs to be.
How are they not legally required to just do it?
I'm not quite sure, actually. That's a good
I
question.
might look, I could try to look, that's gonna be a whole mess, rabbit hole of statutory stuff, but I'll
Do
see what I
you study ADA law?
I study first year nonsense that
Okay.
it has no real world
That's fine,
applications,
okay.
but
Eventually,
I'm pretty
you're
good
gonna
at researching.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is, the question was, why they don't just fix accommodations like automatic road.
Yeah,
So I
or
think
just
probably
like, I mean, in areas where they know that there are students who will need them, I don't understand how that's not an ADA or a title something requirement.
So I don't know this very well either, like from like a pragmatic standpoint of the law, but my understanding through some of the guest speakers we've had is that the ADA covers like certain aspects of the building, and that there has to be sort of a bare minimum as long as people with disabilities can access the lowest floor, like the ground floor, or that there's at least maybe one bathroom in the building or something like that. That there are minimal standards. And that doesn't really make sense to me all the time, because there can be such ironies on campus. But I don't know, all that points to me out to me that it makes me want to know more precisely what we're doing.
Yeah,
So if you're good, look.
more than likely you are correct.
I mean, a lot of what our conversations are going around here is about being beyond compliance.
Right.
Yeah, basic legal compliance is not the same as social justice or equity.
Exactly.
And that Duke should strive harder to meet these goals. And it has responded to calls for, greater strivings in other areas.
Yeah. So the one thing is, I know you're trying to set up a meeting with Lee Fickling.
Yes.
And so did you set up a meeting with her yet, or?
No, her secretary has yet to get back to me, so.
Interesting. I would probably email her again. I mean, they're usually pretty amenable to setting up a meeting or even a phone call. A meeting would probably be better. So, the other thing is we're coming up with an accessibility survey to kind of get more data and anecdotes about accessibility on campus. So we want to meet with her as well for that. So maybe we could just go in together and do it.
Okay, no, that sounds good, because
Once you
honestly,
hear back from her, yeah.
I'm like really inexperienced in this. I just know it's a project that like needs to happen. So
Yeah.
as long as I have like people who know what they're doing, it's great.
Great. Yeah, we can work on that for sure. Yeah. So one thing I was thinking is there are a few bathrooms that do have automatic door openers. So I can think of physics, the first floor men's restroom, Allen first floor men's restroom, and I don't think there are any others. Maybe in the div school there may be one. But I don't know if it may be worth exploring how those came to be and like see if we can extend that. Extend that whatever logic caused them to put those in to like other bathrooms.
So I have an idea that may or may not be generalizable to the greater university, but at a law school, I was recently at a meeting for a new group of feminist collective that's kind of just trying to, address gender-related issues within the law school. And the law school also has a persistent recruitment gap as far as their gender ratio that they would like to address, although it's kind of ambiguous how far they're willing to go to do it. So to the extent that admissions maybe has an interest in recruiting more students with disabilities, it might be possible to make a point to them that their goals would be much more easily served if people come in and see that every building is already accommodated. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you were to show up with the mobility impairment, for example, I'm like, well, I could really only take classes in these 4 buildings, even if the university is theoretically willing to install door openers on other buildings. If students take classes there, it still sends a message that certain departments, possibly admissions, would have a vested interest in them not doing it.
I think that's definitely a good point.
So what can people with mobility impairments do actually study?
Yeah, well, that would be, I don't know, you're saying there's certain buildings that.
No, but I like how it's great, like that phrasing.
Okay, yeah.
Like if you comes out to like say, there's a handful of departments that are actually accessible. Like that could be really, it could be a compelling way to phrase it, to emphasize how illogically and random it is across campus and how unjust it is.
Yeah. And even the fact that they're possibly willing to remediate it in the future doesn't help the perception now and might cause people to weed themselves out that would otherwise be valuable members of the community that choose not even to attend.
So majors, and it's, okay, institutes, accessible.
Oh, and before I forget, do y'all know like the hollows, how they're taking on the handicap, like accessibility issues there, or?
They're gonna have suite style dorms, I believe. So it's a much more customizable, much more accessible way of doing things. I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, but basically that's where I would be if they were ready. But I don't think they're going to be ready while I'm still here at Duke. So yeah, but I think if they are, the suite style is much more amenable to people that have concerns with accessibility of housing.
Make sure perhaps that they're putting buttons on those
yeah,
as well. Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing we can definitely ask about. I think the thing that, I think the image of like coming to campus and seeing that like, wow, all of the doors have automatic door openers, like even the indoor, like even like doors like these, like see if someone with a mobility disability came to campus and saw that, it would be like, wow. And I think definitely from that standpoint, admissions does have a vested interest in making sure the campus is accessible. So,
and then I think to the extent that we can recruit other, organizations to be on our side, it gets us all involved.
Some health organizations might do that. Because it's like, especially like student health, if you help them, they might be able to help us like figure something out because. Like kids get hurt on campus, right? You have these crutches and
yes.
So like even those who just aren't like permanently at a disadvantage just can't use these like, amenities, right? So
for that matter, ask athletics.
Yeah, that too, actually.
I think the other thing to look into is like what is try and preempt questions about the cost. Because I think a lot of times like when you go and you say like, hey, this needs to be rectified, it's like, well, this is like expensive and it's a big inconvenience and blah blah blah, and like it's really annoying. But if we could, I don't know if there's any way to do like research on how much it would cost, like how many bathrooms are at Duke, how much is the cost per bathroom to put an automatic door opener on them and see like and kind of come up with that.
Yes, and you know what also is helpful, from a sort of political standpoint of making compelling arguments is to add in another item or a couple items and what those cost. So like how much does it cost per student to have the busy water, like you put it next to something to make a comment about, you know, how Duke is spending their money.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be necessarily frivolous or politically charged. You could also just put it as the cost of a meal at Duke or the cost of a coffee. But if you wanted to go on even stronger, you could say, what is the cost of, I don't know, what do you think is the silliest thing?
Wait, they have fizzy water?
Oh yeah.
Grass, okay. The cost of replacing the flower
Grass,
beds
yes.
every season and grass. I don't know, just a thought, right? Because there's this old cliche that a budget is a moral document.
Mm.
And the way that Duke spends its money is a conversation we'll always have on campus. And the
Students should be part of that conversation because it's their
They're
tuition.
consumers,
Yeah.
and
It's insanely high.
administrators, you know, people make a lot of decisions about what they expect students really want or need. And this could
But
be.
don't typically ask.
Yeah, so I think they put a lot of effort into the stuff that makes the campus seem really nice and inviting when their prospective students come to visit, you know, so that's why the grass priority and buildings are more important than like faculty salaries and stuff like that, like new buildings and stadiums and stuff like that. And also it's like, what do donors want to see and what do donors like say they're putting their money towards when they're making contributions? So that it's, yeah, connected to a lot of things.
And you could also, so in addition to identifying, say how much door there would cost, might be possible to have numbers of how many students use them, what it costs per student. I don't know, there are different things you could do with that data that you mentioned today.
Right.
Might be helpful. Like you said, it's hard to counter those arguments about something being financially unfeasible. And the more that you can break down that argument, it seems almost like a trump card.
Well, the response could always be to like, okay, you can't do it all next year. What about you start? How about do one building? You know, how about do the biology department?
West Union, I think.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can start where it's like most needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like absolutely, I think like a commitment that it would be incorporated into all future construction renovations. Because this is brand new.
Right.
So like, you know, that's really kind of,
When we look at like peer institutions that have this kind of project going on, or like have them watch and see what they're budgeting on it and what, how they like went over it. So I'm thinking before we get to this meeting with Becky, like have all the data there already. So we can just kind of like say, hey, this is what happened there, like and just like kind of outline it so she has an idea of what we want and how like feasible it is, and that way it's like streamlining the entire process. And I can do that. Like
Okay, you can do the preparation. Yeah, that'd be great.
Really good?
Yeah, really good. Yeah. I am really tired.
Fair enough.
So
Me too.
stayed up till 3 last night. So
I'm curious, I'm taking some notes that I'll share. But for finding out the costs of these items, it might be more realistic to just even ask, what did it cost to install in the past? Because even if I could Google and find out perhaps what other people think it should cost, but the reality is that Duke hires contractors, and depends what they have actually done in the past, perhaps. So maybe SDAO or facilities can help answer that question.
yeah,
Do the research forums.
yeah, and I think if you certainly if you have any questions, we'd be definitely willing to help with the preparation. I think we have a lot of other things that we're trying to handle ourselves now. So, but yeah, if you need any like specific assistance from us, we can definitely help with that. But yeah, thanks. We really appreciate that you're gonna spend time on this. So yeah, thanks.
So while we're still on the topic generally of accessibility, I just wanted to fill everyone in on a meeting I had yesterday with Jim Haverkamp, who is a professor in the Center for Documentary Studies and Arts of the Moving Image. He teaches like a introductory video editing class, and I'm going to be partnering with him in the spring on making videos about accessibility at Duke, using our students. Like our students are going to partner together and make them, where my students would be more expert in like the content being accessibility, and the other students being more expert in like video making. And so we're thinking about making 6 small videos on different aspects of accessibility. So like one would be on like entrances and thoroughfares, something like that. But the way I'm thinking about breaking it down is also having one on like mental health. So like the culture of mental health on campus, CAPS itself, but also just like the stigma surrounding like openness about those issues. And then another one on like classroom stuff. So like, do your professors have accessible pedagogy? Also, like, do you have any issues getting the accommodations that you need for your learning? And then maybe one specifically on restrooms, because I feel like that's too big to put in with the other one on physical accessibility. So I feel like maybe bathrooms can get their own video. And then one on like recreational facilities and dining. And then finally, like maybe parking and transportation. But so I'm just thinking that 6 is a good number of videos. If anyone wants to like give me feedback at any point about how to break those categories down, I'm open to it. And we were thinking about having an exhibition at the end of Disability Pride Week, just like last year, except this time it would involve a screening of these 6 little videos, in addition to whatever other projects my students are creating. Because I'm gonna have so many students again, that not all of them are going to be able to make these videos because they would be too little work for too many students. So some of them are just going to have like whatever project they want to do.
I mean, that sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah, I hope it goes as easy in practice as it sounds just saying it now, but I think it's going to be, I think there will be organizational complexities involved. But I'm looking forward to it. It was really good to talk it out with Jim. He seems really interested and excited, and I'm gonna have the opportunity to teach his students about accessibility and disability justice and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you have any action items that you want me to associate
with the videos? Well, if anyone wants to get involved or be in the videos, let me know. But other than that, I don't think so. Who wants to be, like Jay, if you want to be, I feel like you should be in the one about like thoroughfares and doorways and stuff.
Yeah, I could.
You don't mind
I could
theoretically
do that if like we can. Obviously, I mean like
show you.
Whoever's making the video, I'll like schedule a time with them.
Well, yeah. So what I'll do is I'm gonna create like a mini syllabus for just this project. And like have like, okay, the second week of the semester, everybody meets and talks about ideas. The third week, they meet with the people they're gonna film. The fourth week, they film, whatever. But there will be a schedule so that they stay on task and don't get stuck like not being finished with the video in time for the exhibition.
So which course is this again?
This time I'm calling it Neurodiversity Narrative Activism. So it'll be similar to the one I taught last semester. Yeah. But last semester or last year when I taught it was called Modernism and Madness, and it was a little bit more focused on the modernist period of literature and art. And this time I'm using narrative more flexibly, so it doesn't necessarily have to be modernist. So I think that should make the course more cohesive. Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Joe studying for writing 101 just as fast. Second windows, anyone get anything, but it's fine.
Oh, are you a freshman?
I am.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they fill up really fast.
They do. Crazy.
One day I looked and I had like 2 and 4 and 1, and then the next day it was 12, 12, 12. I was like, okay, I guess I'm full. So yeah, it just happens really quickly.
However, if you are looking for a disability-related course, I am offering one. Listed in history, global health,
Public
policy, feminist gender, and sexuality studies. I can't ever remember.
Yeah, what order the words? Yeah.
And it's called disability history.
Do you want to make a note of that on the?
I should. There are still seats open.
Yeah.
Yes. And I am so committed to finding a couple more students to join us for the semester. So I will add that to our meeting notes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, I think we're just about done.
Great.
Well, let me just take another quick look at the agenda.
I don't know if there are any bathrooms in the laws. No, there are. Still only 1. Sorry, thinking out loud.
You said there are no bathrooms in the law school?
That have an opener on them, but they're just kind of like down, like, for example, like, there's one that's, again, a pretty much purely administrative hallway,
Oh,
but I don't know.
yeah. I mean, just bathrooms in general. So that's why it needs to be a whole nother video. There's so much to say about.
Well, it is kind of, because you'll have the, the wheelchair accessible stall.
Yeah.
But then you'll design the bathroom in a way that it makes it impossible to get a wheelchair into it.
Yeah, so the stall's fine, but you can't get to it.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into there.
There's also, my students have told me stories about like, when they go in and fix up the dorms, they'll like make the bathrooms all completely ADA compliant, but there's no elevator to get to that floor. So it's like this like beautiful ADA bathroom on an inaccessible part of the building.
Well, so that is something that we would want to address regarding the budget, though. It's just like, okay, look, you're already spending money. At the bare minimum, we need to target it to something that's more effective.
Yeah,
We can't be doing this bridge to nowhere, like building an awesome bathroom at the top floor of a building that only has stairs in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe somebody, there are conceivably some situations where you would be able to use stairs and find it difficult to sit on a toilet, but I find it less likely, and it would have been much more useful to do that on the ground floor or in a different building that's accessible.
Yeah, makes a lot more sense. All right.
I mean, to the extent that there's a list of these anywhere, I mean, I think that would be.
Yeah, that's kind of what the survey is going to be for once we have that out.
So that is kind of a counter trump card.
So is also about like bathrooms. They're focusing on like single stall restrooms or like inclusivity, and like a lot of these stalls double as like wheelchair accessible stalls. And so like that's a big deal basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, single stall bathrooms are definitely a big thing.
Yeah, those are the best.
So.
Okay, so would you like if I couldn't get one or the other, would you prefer like handicap buttons on the single stalls or like the actual like
yeah, I mean that's that as a lower benchmark, yes. So, all right. So yeah, I think we've talked about everything on the agenda for this week. So thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Bye.